Hey, welcome to the live Lynch Trophy final preview show on UpStreamedia's Facebook and YouTube channel. I'm Chris Hughes, your host for Rebound. I'm joined by, to my left, as you guys are watching, Flynn Borden and Rafael from BA London Lions, and to my right, Chuck Duru from Reading Rockets. Evening, guys. Thank you for coming on the evening big games. How are you guys? How's your week been?
I'm good, thank you.
Cool. I say you've been busy, Reed. Appreciate you both got games tomorrow, actually, as well as the final, which we'll later discuss. Chuck, how's training been for you guys? What's the thoughts going into your game this weekend?
It's been good. We've just had Leon back from injury. He missed the last couple of weeks. The emphasis has really just been around getting better as a team and really, maximising and reaching our potential now that we head into the business end of the season. Obviously, losing the last couple of games was tough. One of them being to Barkin and Flynn and his team. But yeah, I think it's been positive. I think everybody's in the right mindset and looking forward to this weekend.
Definitely, and you're playing Essex. It's an interesting matchup because Essex were in the same group as Solent, and obviously you guys are the same group as TBC in that final we'll get to shortly. You mentioned about Leon being back for fitness. How much of a boost does he give to your side?
Yeah, Leon's, he's a guy who's been in the league for a number of years. I think he definitely makes us better in terms of, providing us with another inside presence. He's had a great year. Just look at his numbers, I think he averages like 17, 18 points a game and like 10 rebounds. So just having that, physical specimen that he is, it's definitely makes us better. So it's good to have him back.
And welcome, Flynn. I know you, like myself, rushed to get in this evening. I know you had training and gone from one side of the city to the other. How are you, mate? How's your week been?
Yeah, it's been good. We've had a good week of practice. We're just ready to go for the weekend. We've got 2 big games which we're really ready for, so we're just excited for it.
Yeah, big game. You got Worthing at home on Saturday, which I believe will be streamed on your channel. Then Sunday, I'll just double check. I wouldn't say it wrong there. It's a 2 o'clock game, remember, away to Bradford. So that'll be a long travel up there. What's some of the things you've done in the week to prepare for those games? They're sort of similar teams in terms of strengths and weaknesses. What are some things you've honed in on this week?
We've as I said, like earlier on in the week, we've just made sure we've gone at it, really like competed in practice, gone up and down, really pushed each other, and then we've also watched some of their games and just preparing in terms of how we're going to stop certain plays and certain players. So we're really we're not trying to focus at both at the same time. We're Saturdays. Tomorrow is the game we're preparing for, and then once that's done, we'll prepare for, even though it's a short turnaround, we'll prepare for Bradford.
And whenever I get you guys on the show, I always like to get a bit of insight about training without giving away too much of a secret sauce. Flynn, who are some of the winners and losers training this week? Maybe like highlight dunks or 3-points or funny joke. What's some of the highlights been from this week of training at BA?
I think the main thing is it's such a great environment. We do a good job of really pushing each other. Sometimes it gets chippy. Guys are talking trash, and like we stay really competitive. And it's sometimes what we do is we'll do the same team. So at the beginning of the week, we'll split into 2 teams, and those teams will be our teams for the week. So once that team's split, it's like we're going at the other team for the whole week.
Yeah.
But Veron's had a couple dunks, so I'd probably say that's it really.
Awesome. And same for you, Chuck. Who's been some of the winners and losers this week in training, or maybe some highlight plays or funny things that's gone down at JMA in training?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. So the way we Coach Keen structures training, and we have like a big group beyond the team. So we usually have about 14, 15 guys that practice, which includes the EABL guys from the academy. And then we usually split into 2 teams, and then all the drills we do would be competitive. So we usually have like a series at the end of the practice. So say the red team and the black team, you know, it might be 4-3 to the black team. Maybe they won 4 drills. So yeah, that I think definitely aids the competitive aspect of practice, because you know it's bragging rights every session. I know for me, you know, I'm the most competitive guy you'll meet. Like, I want to win every drill, and you know, at the end of the day, I want to make sure my team wins the drills. Um, Outside of practice, you know, we coach. You know, he's a competitor himself, so he likes to, you know, have like shooting competitions with some of the players, which is quite fun. I don't know if you saw it on my Instagram. I posted a video, a little clip from his shootout with Jazz, one of my teammates, where he actually beat Jazz in I think it was a best of 3 or best of 5 competition. So it's that's probably, you know, the highlight of practice. You know, just having fun with it and stuff like that. So we do that quite a bit as a team, and it's good that coach gets involved as well.
Yeah, for sure. Jazz Baines, he's always really excited me, and he's a new addition to squad, if you like, in terms of like coming in recently. Maybe for people who don't not too aware of him, what sort of thing does he bring to the team? Because he's really excited me when I've seen him come on for you guys in the games so far this season.
Hey, you're asking me to help teams with their scout? I can't do that. No, Jazz.
Don't worry then.
Jazz is a good player, man. He's come from playing in Pro B in Germany, which is a really, really good level. But he's definitely added some more firepower to our team. He's a really good outside shooter, really good teammate. You know, very encouraging. Talks a bit of trash in practice, which makes it fun. But yeah, I love his energy, man. I think he's been a great addition to the team.
Yeah, I know. I've enjoyed watching it. Hats off to the Reading Rockets organisation there. Product in terms of live stream is really good and really up there, and it's great insights from the coaches and the guys there, and it's great to watch. Before we get into the Lynch Trophy final preview show, previewing the final, I've teamed up for Always Born into a charity tea to raise money for my charity. Been going really well. Sort of celebrate the 4 semi-final teams with Solent, TBC, Loughborough and Worthing. I haven't missed all of those teams, I'm sure. And I thought with the final we'd do a giveaway. So I got people to like the post, and the winner is 1 T-shirt for a choice of your colourway shirt. Got a lot of likes, so I done a little spin the wheel. So we'd say spin the wheel, see who gets the T-shirt, and then after show I'll get in contact with get you pick out a tee of your choice. I tried to limit to UK entrants just because we're doing this for charity. We're also covering bits of the costs of it. Otherwise, if we cover bits of the costs of the shirt, then obviously costs to America, it's really quite a lot of money, and we try to keep it local where we can. So take skills here. So I put all early on Saturday. I put like the 60 names or so onto the wheel. So we got it here. Which I sent to it. Hope it to be seen. Press 1 second. Let's make sure my mouse over the thing. That will help. Right, let's see what this is. That's probably my lights in the way. Right. They've stopped. Oh, Adam Saul's the winner. I'm not sure you guys see that. The Solent Scout. If he's watching, congratulations. I imagine you probably want a Solent tee, but get the DMs, we'll get one sent out to you. And I say, from the shirt itself, if you're interested on Always Balling, £4 for every sale goes towards my charity. I believe we've already raised close to £80 already, and they've only been on sale for a week, so that's amazing. If that's not a team that you like, we have to do custom ones. I think I've done Leicester, we've done Oakland as well, so it's out there. Anyway, let's move on to the final, guys. Chuck, what are your thoughts heading to the final? What do you think is going to happen on this weekend?
You know, obviously, you know, I think it's an enticing matchup. You know, Solent haven't lost in God knows how many years. But yeah, I've been looking forward to. Yeah. I'm looking forward to watching the game. You know, I think you know, Thames Valley, a very talented side. You know, obviously Solent are Solent. We know what they do. We know what they bring. You know, Thames Valley, I think, have only lost 1 game in the league this year. So I think it's definitely a very exciting matchup, and it's the first time the two teams are playing this season. I think Thames Valley will be going in fairly confident. Seeing Solent barely scraped past Worthing a couple of weeks before, and I think in Lewis Champion they've got someone who's a big time player. Having played with him my first season in Division 1, and Blaine and Taylor. But if you're asking me to pick who I think is going to win, I'm going to go with Solent, just because I think I think coaching is going to play a big part in tomorrow's game, and I think the coaching at Solent is superior. I think that's how they're gonna get the job done.
You definitely done the scout on there. Yeah, all the facts are correct. The fact one, Solent haven't lost in ages. I think what's really enticing is sort of like it feels like a series, because I think the next 4 weeks they're playing each other 3 times. So I'm sure both teams will take blood at some point. It seems like they're both quite close in stature. And I think actually you mentioned Champion. That was my highlight so far. I don't even remember in the Hemel TVC game when Champion called Dames, didn't he? From and Tossin was like, "That's an awful shot," and it went in. I was like, but because he made it, it was a great shot. But yeah, that's what unlocked, isn't it? Champion does it quite a lot of times this season from range. Do you remember looking back at the group stages, Chuck? Obviously, you guys got exposed to TVC early on. What are your memories from that game in particular, if you remember from that far back?
I think from that game, we kind of got a taste of what Thames Valley are going to be this year, in a sense that we got they had continuity from last year. I think they're going to be a different team because we faced them on Tuesday. I think they're going to be a different team from then, just in the sense that Coach Bob has had them for a bit now, and he's been able to. I think the players are more used to each other, and obviously the addition of Kai Williams. I'm not sure if Seth Hawley's back from injury yet, but I think they're kind of they've kind of been what I've kind of expected them to be in terms of free front offense, very much centered around their backcourt. So yeah, it'll be interesting, to see how they are tomorrow, and even when we face them on Tuesday.
For sure. Flynn, in terms of the matchups, both guys got very talented teams, and as Chuck alluded to, TVC have upped it with Kai and Seth, and whether Seth be there or not. Who do you think are the matchups you think are going to be the most mouth-watering or decisive this weekend?
I'm not sure. I think the battle of the bigs this weekend is going to be very, very key to whoever wins the game. Solent, who I'd say have a deeper team than TVC, have that firepower coming off the bench. But at the same time, after playing TVC last weekend, Hakeem Silla is a monster. So it'll be a really good matchup for the bigs at Solent. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I think for the bigs it'll be a good matchup. But then again, for the backcourt as well, Ian Smith and Taylor Johnson, that's going to be a great matchup to see. I think for me the factor that I think Solent's going to win, and I think it's just because of how deep they are. Thames Valley, a lot of their starting, I think all of their starting 5 or most of them play over 30-35 minutes a game, whereas Solent, they distribute minutes really well, and when one person comes off from Solent and someone comes on, nothing changes. There's no weaknesses in the chain of the team. So I think it's going to be a really interesting matchup. But then anything can happen. So I'm not sure.
I think you're totally right. I was looking to it the other day. Someone pointed out that they thought the MVP race between Hakeem and Taylor just because of the rotation of Solent. And actually, if you look at their 5 key players from last season, they were averaging between 28 and 33 minutes. This year, it's really dropped by 5 minutes. Like the main 5 guys, they average between 23 and 28. So like you say, there's a lot more minutes to spare. Obviously, you guys just come off back to play TVC, Flynn, and Hakeem Sia, he seems to be like a walk-in 2020 a game. What are some of the things that you guys try to implement to stop him? And what sort of things do you think Solent will try to do to slow him down?
I think we tried. I don't think we did the greatest job, but we tried to just limit him. Firstly, limit him with the offensive rebounds because he's really good at getting offensive rebounds, getting in the right positions to get them, and then just loads of second chance points. He's really good at getting to the line because of how aggressive he is. So I think if Solent can do a good job of limiting him on the offensive glass, I feel like that will help them get out in transition quicker, and obviously it will limit their second chance points because that's where a lot of their points come from, and it gets even if he doesn't score when he gets offensive rebounds, a lot of the times he's getting fouled. So if they can reduce him from getting their own guys into foul trouble and reducing the second chance points, I think they'll have a good shot at winning.
Yeah, I think you're right, Ben. It's been partial to maybe not give so too much stout fighting, but I'm pretty sure Matt Diamond and Co have got the stout sorted. From the flip side, Chuck, what would you say for TVC in terms of trying to limit the likes of Travis and Orland? What's some of the things that TVC to do to sort of limit the Solent speed? So they can sort of go off too with Orland. I think it was a 31-11 last weekend. He had quite a good weekend.
Yeah, I think the main thing you got to do when you're playing a team like Solent is, I think for one is, control the glass. I think you've got to keep Travis, Orlan off the glass, and just be really physical inside. I think physicality is something that will help TVC tomorrow if they can, rough up the interior guys. And also Jonathan Lashley, who comes off the bench, he's quite a physical player, but I think that's going to be key for Thames Valley tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think there's so many little matchups. There's so many players who can influence on both sides. Like you could say, Kai Williams, who might not start for TBC, actually could go off, or you could look at maybe the bench as well. They've got guys like Mo Aiden, who's got a great finishing package. There's a lot of depth on both sides, but maybe just look at the guards as well. Obviously Taylor Johnson, Blaine, Lewis. That's an amazing sort of backcourt to have, isn't it? How do you stop those three scoring? Because they all don't want to have a chance of shooting, and it's only quite hard for Solent to sort of slow that scoring down. How do you think they don't do that, Chuck?
Well, I mean, it's going to be tough. I think in TVC you've got maybe a four-headed monster if you include Seth Hawley as well. And I think that's something that Coach Bob should think about tomorrow. Going with a smaller lineup, just to really force Solent to match up one of their bigs with a guard. I think it's an area where that they could exploit, in the sense that by going with four guards, you've now got, if you're Solent, you've now got to kind of play chess a bit and decide, are you gonna utilize your advantage of height and jeopardize matchups that way, or vice versa. But yeah, I think it's a difficult job, man. They're all guys who can make plays. They're all guys who can score, and they're all guys who can defend. So I think it's tough. It's tough.
And Flynn, obviously, BA, you guys have faced Solent quite a few times already for the Lynch and the league, and Solent got guards themselves that do the same sort of thing. TVC with like Ian, and then Andre, but they've got other guys to sort of bring everything together. What's the strategy to TVC to implement to sort of limit Ian, limit Andre? What sort of things do they put in place to sort of make it that bit tougher for Solent?
I don't know. It's tough. It's the same thing with how deep they are. It's when you take the ball, when you try and keep the ball out of Ian and Andre's hands, they have other great guards who can still score. So and facilitate. So I think, for me, if I was TVC, I'd be trying to limit Ian Smith as a facilitator, because he's really, really good at creating for his teammates and creating for himself. Limiting Andre in transition, because once he gets going in transition, there's not a lot of people that can stop him going downhill. I don't know. I think they just need to I think if Thames Valley win, it will be for them playing 40 minutes. If they let them get comfortable in the first and second and let them get hot, then Solent are impossible to slow down. So I think if they can really rough up Ian, get it out of his hands, and then when the ball's not in his hands, make it very hard for him to get the ball back. I feel like they'll have a good shot.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with that. Both of you guys sort of wisdom here, and anyone watches definitely aided them when they watch it tomorrow in the big game. Chuck, I can't remember whether earlier you made a prediction, but who do you think will win on Saturday, and maybe sort of a bit why?
I'm going with Solent. I think talent wise it's quite even. I think between the two teams, but I just think coaching, when it comes to finals especially, I think coaching and experience plays a huge part. So I'm going with Solent.
Definitely, Flynn. The same question for you. Sort of, I know you said you sort of felt like if team received it, but would you maybe a bit bold, maybe say how much of a margin you think the games would be, or what are your final predictions on it?
I think I'm gonna agree with Chuck. I think I think Solent are gonna win, but I don't think it's gonna be by a big margin. I feel like if Thames Valley play their best basketball, it's gonna be very close. Because I remember when Thames Valley played Surrey, that was Surrey Scorchers. That's a BBL team, and they nearly beat them. So like when similar to Solent, when Thames Valley play their basketball and when their guys are going off, they're really hard to stop. So I really think it's going to be a really, really good game. But I'm going to go Solent just because of how deep they are.
Yeah, I'm not going to make a prediction. Just last time I made a prediction, it went totally the other way, and I sort of had to delete the tweet. I was like, I was like, Chris, calm down. People might see that and say it didn't age well, so I'm trying to keep quiet. But I'm actually really excited. I think it's going to be a really great game, and it's going to be a great. Whoever wins, it's going to be a great game because I think both teams are stronger defensively than last year. Also, I think offensively are stronger too. So it's going to make a great game. We've got a little bit of time before the next side. So we've got Kyle Walker from Solent and then Taylor Johnson from TVC. I thought I'd just spin a question into you guys. So we're almost getting towards the end of the season when we sort of coaches vote for the MVP. Who do you guys think maybe your three contenders for MVP from the ML D1 this season?
Ooh, it's tough.
Yeah, it's
tough. Three? You say three?
Yeah, three. Let's say three. Or you can always do 5 if you think it's that close. I think there's 4 or 5. But
I'm gonna go with Greg Polian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put Hakeem Silla in there as well. And then my third would probably be Orlan Jackman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I think at the moment, I think that's definitely yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. And Taylor, to be fair, I think Taylor's played really well against us last week, and he's hard to stop. So,
are we able to put a fifth player in, or is it realistically going to be one of those 4?
I can't think of anyone else outside of them.
No.
I'm just trying to think.
I mean, there's a few guys that you could mention, but maybe they need a bit more minutes, and maybe a bit more production on those minutes. Because I think those are the 4. But I know when I talk about Team of the Week, it's really hard to not include Greg, not include. They pretty much put those performances in week in, week out, aren't they? Especially those 4 guys you mentioned, it's hard to miss out.
Yeah, but, I'd probably go with those 4.
So to recap, we said Greg Polian, Hakeem Sia, Orlan Jackman, and Taylor Johnson. I think that's a pretty good 4, but definitely any one of those, I think I'd be happy with. They've all had a good season.
Ian
Maybe
Smith as well, actually.
Ian Smith. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
I think Ian Smith. Yeah, it's Ian Smith, just for me, for a player that has 20 sort of 2-3 minutes, he's still producing big numbers.
He's really efficient. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick anyone on Solent's team.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say, because they share the ball so well. There's not one person who stands out.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you guys. That as I was sort of saying, not many of you guys have enough minutes to sort of really get those sort of 40 efficiency games or 50 efficiency games. Whereas, Greg will probably play 38 minutes a game. Taylor, Hakeem, depending on the opposition, will play between 33 38. And it's hard for the other players sort of to get the same outcome. I really appreciate you both coming on, especially Flynn, you got a double header and you ran across London to get here, so I appreciate that. And Chuck, you guys are busy too, your end. And I wish you both all the luck this weekend and hope you guys are tuning in to watch it at some point when you get a chance. So thanks for coming on and stay safe, you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Good luck this weekend, Flynn.
Good luck to you.
Awesome. Seamless transition there from Rupert Charles, UpStreamedia. Give that channel a follow. They live stream all the NBL, WNBL games for the NBL on UpStreamedia. It's a great channel, and obviously give me the opportunity to host these shows. Welcome, guys. So to my left, as you guys watch Kai Ward from Team Soap Testrals, you may remember him from Wrestling Voice last season. And to my right, we've got Taylor Johnson from TVC. Welcome, guys. Good evening. How are you all?
Doing all right. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I did my couch to 5K, to get myself back to fitness, to go back to work after shielding, and today we did a 5K walk, and I was cutting the time a bit close. The show started 7:30. I got in at 5 minutes to 7, and I was like, I'm glad I didn't need anything to eat because I wouldn't have time to fit it all in. But it's nice actually because I think,
gotta get the fuels back in the system after the walk. Gotta get some protein.
Yeah,
get some veggies after that.
I will. My girlfriend's probably cooking me something to have after you guys come on. I'm looking forward to my dinner in a bit. So, how are you guys first and foremost? You guys all well? You ready for tomorrow?
I'm
start with Kai.
all set.
Oh, yeah. Go
ahead, Kai.
Yeah. So you've had training Tuesday, Thursday. How's training been? What sort of gone down in training without giving away too much details of Kai and Co? Do you hear me okay? Oh, is it frozen? 1 second, let's see what's happened. Kai, can you hear me? Or what's happened here? Oh, Jesus, live show, some of these things happen. Oh, you're back now, Taylor. It's just saying, how's training been this week? Do you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, training's been good. Yeah, we've everything's been good. Been getting better. Everyone's healthy. We're excited for tomorrow. We're ready to go.
Kai, same for you. How's training been? You guys all ready and raring for the long trip to Leicester tomorrow?
Yeah, man, we're ready. Like, energy's high, spirits are high. Just getting ready to go out, to be honest.
Definitely. I'll start with you, Kai, as we sort of previous final. It must be quite interesting sort of seeing Coach Diamond go off and that seamless transition. But what are some of the things that you guys are looking to get in this game? What are some of the things maybe Coach sort of told you sort of be on your guard for? What are some of the threats you guys expect on this weekend?
I say just play up high energies. Just know they're key guys. Obviously, they've got last 5. And obviously, me playing, I used to train with them in my first year at Bruno. So obviously, I know a couple of the guys. I know they can go off. I know what Taylor's like. So it's gonna be an interesting one for sure.
For sure. For me, I'm quite excited because I think observing the NBL D1, there's always this conversation going on week by week, sort of saying how match are these two teams, because we've seen teams. I think it's Newcastle Solent sort of steamrolling soon. Taylor, for TBC, having to play Solent 3 times in 4 weeks, what's the thought in the camp about that? Is that ideal, or would you rather it a bit more spaced out? What are some of the conversations as we head this sort of 3-game series?
I think that the consensus is we're excited and we're looking forward to the opportunity and the challenge. It's been over a year since we played them. I think this time last year was right when all the coronavirus craziness was really breaking out. So we were about to play Solent this time last year, but we didn't get to. They called the season. But no, there hasn't been too much talk of, we want it to be different. Like, everyone's just really excited that we are having a season, and now that we're here, we're gonna get to test ourselves and see how we measure up and see what happens.
Definitely.
So we're excited.
But the extra added dimensions that play at Leicester, it's a lovely arena. What's the plans? Are you guys heading up quite early to get a session in, or will that sort of hour and a half before you get on court be the first time you practice there, Taylor?
Yeah, so I think we're just gonna play it just like a regular away game. So we're just gonna go up and do our regular warm up and kind of do the same game day routine and do it that way. So yeah.
And I see you nodding away, guys. That's the same for Solent. I know you all live separately. You sort of just don't treat it as a normal away game. Get there in that sort of window and train. I guess
Yeah,
with COVID, that's. Hang on.
Yeah, there's so many protocols at the moment. Like obviously you got to just turn up at a certain time and stuff like that. So I'm probably just going to be the exact same thing as like a normal game.
And have either you? I don't think either of you two have played there before, so I guess it's only quite a unique opportunity. Is that right in saying that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I think it's a really great game. Certain fans can't be there, but there'll be a fan wall, so there'll be some fans there, virtually, like sort of Zoom meeting. Looking at the game itself, Taylor, without having played Solent, what's changed? Because obviously you were prepared to play them before they called game at the end of last season. What sort of maybe things that are different from last season? Maybe Coach Banks sort of been prepping for this weekend.
So I think last year we acknowledged we had some up and downs last year. We dropped a couple games. We would have spurts of being really electric and going on these massive runs in such short periods of times, but then we would go on these lulls and we just kind of lacked some consistency, and that's been something we worked on last year and we've continued to work on this year. We've got a lot of the same guys. So we kind of have that comfort level, and we've been building and just working on ourselves really and being more consistent. And I think as of late, I think one of the biggest things we've improved upon in the last few months has been our team defense and just the understanding. And we still have plenty of things to work on both ends of the court. But I think that's one of the bigger things in the past few months. So.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Like, for me, look at the games, definitely seem to shore up that defence a bit more, and obviously having Kai Williams there and a few of the guys that sort of change the roles, I guess that all helps. Who is something like, and obviously we've seen some new faces, obviously we've seen Seth Hall, we've seen Kai Williams. What have they brought to the team dynamic that maybe people don't see on the court?
Oh yeah, Kai, he has played for a long time now, so he has tons of experience, and he's played at different places. He's played at the BBL level, so he really knows the game, and he's really brought a lot of expertise and understanding and just kind of like a experience in the calmingness of having been all those places, that he doesn't get too worked up, and kind of helps keep us a little more even keel, I'd say. So that's been an awesome addition for us.
I say he's doing well, and he's obviously that on-court production too. Whenever I have these guys on the show, I always like to sort of get insights to training. Kai, we've seen the photos. It looks like you guys are having fun this week. Who are some of like the biggest winners and maybe not lose, maybe the biggest winners in trade this week? So I know you guys, you sort of have a little competition with the black jersey on. Give us a bit of insight how training's been this week.
Just been a high energy. Everyone just going at each other, making sure we're ready just to go at Thames Valley. But just high energies. Everyone just laughing. Everyone having a good time. Just being happy to be out there, to be honest.
And same to you, Taylor. What's training been like this week? Who've been some of the winners? Like, has there been like highlight dunks or pranks? What are some of the things that maybe fans don't get to see but have been highlights for you this week?
I can't remember if it was this week. It might have been early this week or sometime last week. We've got one of the younger guys trains with us. He goes to Uxbridge. He trains with us a little bit, especially when we're if we're low on numbers or something. He had a big dunk the other day. So we were excited for him to have that. His name is M.
Awesome. So we love to hear dunks. And if we were to have like an NBL dunk competition, who would represent TBC most consistently? Who do you think is like the best dunk package?
Ooh, good question. We've got a few guys that can dunk. Darnell can dunk. Timmy dunks easily. Hakeem doesn't do it very much in practice, but he can. Who else do we have? Charles. I think Charles has got to be one of the dunk contestants. Bernard. So we've got a few guys. I would say, yeah, those are some of the guys. I hope I didn't miss anyone.
I know, it's always the way when you have these
just,
sort of things.
Yeah, somebody might be upset with me if I don't throw them. If I miss them, and they might razz me a little bit.
Yeah, it's all good. And Ty, sorry that you think to tap on who would win a dunk contest at Solent?
I'll say Luke Brazumbo. I know Luke Gosney can get up as well. I'll say myself. John and Trav can get up as well, but they don't. They just take their time with it. They don't really need to. They're so big that you could just lay it up. But we've got a few guys. I'll say Luke though, definitely.
Yeah, for me, this season I kind of thought the All-Star weekend was a bit of a distraction, but maybe wasn't needed. But typically, I find those sort of weekends great. And look at the other aspect, the three-point shooting. Both of you teams are not great three-point shooters. Taylor, who would win in a three-point contest at TBC?
Oh, I think it'd be close. I think we got a few guys in there. We got a lot of guys that can shoot, but I'd say I'd put myself in there. Blaine, of course. Lou is up there. Charles is in there. Yeah, I'd say me, Blaine, Lou, Charles, the guards. Yeah.
And Kai for
Kai,
obviously.
Kai would get in there too. For one of the bigs on our team, he'd be in there. Yeah. So yeah, I'd say one of those 4 or 5.
Definitely, I'm hoping we see a lot of dunks and 3-point plays this weekend. Depending on how tight the D is, but we'll have to see. Kai, from Solar perspective, who do you feel would win a 3-point contest? There's quite a lot to pick for, I guess, as is with TBC.
That's a hard one. Everyone can knock a shot down for sure, but I'll have to say Chris Scarlett, definitely. Yeah, he's lights out shooter.
Yeah, no, he's actually quite in form at the moment. I think maybe not in the work. Did he? I know one game he sort of shooting 50% on the field and recently, so he's definitely on form. Obviously, for this tournament, we've got to give a shout out to sponsors, Lynch Plant Hire, who we wouldn't be here without them, who sort of the hours they put in to sort of help, and the directors come on the show to do the draws. So thank you from everyone in the basketball community to Lynch. They're watching, I'm sure they are. As this competition has grown, they've really brought on board. I've had some great discussions talking about the games with them, and they'll be looking forward to the final. It's great. I've seen the trophy, that looks really good, the medals, so shout out to everyone involved who sort of brought this together. And I thought before we sort of get a bit more into the final, both of you involved in some great semi-finals. Let's start with TBC. Taylor, obviously you guys had to play Loughborough, mouth-watering tight, almost went either way. What are some of your memories for that semi-final? What went well for you guys?
Yeah, so we had a game the day before, so I think we came out a little slower than we would have liked that day. And that's that's never ideal, is to start out behind like that and having a slow start. But we stuck with it, and then in the fourth quarter we really started rolling on all cylinders, and picked it up on both ends. The intensity, the energy, it all came, and in time. So we were able to get the win. But yeah, it was a battle for sure. The Loughborough was a good battle.
Yeah, I was watching both sort of simultaneously. I was messaging Rupert saying, "You got to watch the other as well, but don't miss the game you're watching too. They're both great." If you had to pinpoint a point, because it was sort of swinging from one way to the other, was there a certain tactic or a certain moment where you just thought we've got this in the bag, or was it sort of too close to score? Was there like a play or someone went a bit hot? What were some of your thoughts that went well in that semi-final?
Well, I think it was more of a period than it was a not the whole quarter, but like kind of a period of a few minutes there in the fourth quarter. Not necessarily one play, but there was a period there where it just felt like the defensive intensity for us, picked up. We had some guys um, uh, making a really good effort of chasing guys on the perimeter, and then we also had some bigs have some big stops and rebounds. Um, and unfortunately, they missed a few shots, so they started out the game lights out. And in that run in the fourth quarter, they got some good looks, but they missed some, and then we made some plays on defense, and we were scoring on offense. I think Bernard had a big and one. So it's kind of a little stretch there that made the difference for us.
Yeah, I mean, as an advert for British basketball, that's both of your semi-finals were really great to watch. So obviously, congratulations for making this far and look forward to the final. Kai, from a silent point of view, that was also a good semi-final with Worthing. I know you guys have messed with injuries, so when I saw you all pile at the end, I was like, hopefully there's no more injuries. What are some of your thoughts watching that game? And, what were some of the things that Coach Jack was saying in those timeouts, just to give you that little bit more of an edge over Worthing? Because it was a very close game, which went on either way.
I feel like it was just staying locked in, not letting like a close game affect us. Closely, like we haven't really been in that situation like too many times. So it was just staying locked in, just being ready for whatever they threw at us, and just keep going like we did. And then, lucky enough, Dre came up at the end and hit a big shot that we needed to make at the time.
Yeah, it was an amazing play. Was that one that was picked out by coach, or was it just one where you just trusted Andre down a little bit of space over Ishmael? What was it planned, or was it more? It was the best look. Or what are your memories of that?
I think it came off an offensive rebound. So at first, I think Ian had it, and then I think someone put up a shot. I think it was Trav, and then we got a rebound. Dre shot it, got another rebound, then we just saw the time, so the bench started screaming out how long was left, and then Brendan gave it to Dre. He did a little jab step and then got a nice floater off, and then just it was a blur from there.
Yeah. And also, me and Kai were sort of talking on there. I think yesterday evening, before just doing the testing, and I love what you were saying. How teams like you, Solar and TBC are raising the standard of the NBL D1, because often people say Solar and TBC should be in the BBL, but actually the opposite is also true. You guys are raising the standard. Taylor, now it's your third season, so you play with Leicester and TBC. For you, what's your experience been in the NBL? Do you feel it's the standards getting better outside the top four, or what are some of your thoughts in terms of where you see the NBL going? Do you think it will continue improving?
Yeah, I think it can. I think it has definitely. This year, it felt like it. It feels like it has. Um, um, and yeah, of course, it can always be better. Um, yeah, I think there's lots of young talent. There's some names on all the teams. I think I think some of the defenses are getting tougher. Um, so yeah, I think it's doing well, and as we've seen last year and this year, we're having NBL teams compete against these BBL teams, which is really cool. We've also seen with at least off the top of my head, Martel, who played in the NBL, and he's playing with Surrey, a BBL team, doing well. So yeah, so it's really cool to see stuff like that, and really cool to see NBL teams competing against BBL teams, as it's considered the top league in the country. So yeah, hope to see more of it.
Definitely, and I think that's why it's been such great interest in the Lynch Trophy, because of the standard of play. We've seen guys, even just from their performance within it, get a BBL contract like Evan Walsh. Kai, for you, what are some of the standout players that you've sort of come across, watch on the bench or watch within the scout but maybe aren't on people's radars because they're not on Solent or TBC. They may be on the sort of the 8th or 9th seeds. What are some of the players that when you're sat in training, listening to Stout, they're like, guys, we can't let this guy play. He's top player. Because I think when you look outside, so it can be quite easy to sort of underjudge teams. Just the spotlight does seem to be a bit more so than TBC, but there's talent elsewhere. Who are some of the guys that come out quite a lot in the Stout as the focus ones?
I'll say young guys. There's the Walsh guy you said played for Bradford. They've got I think his name's Great Ozabor. He's tough. He's nice. And then I'm trying to think of a couple more young guys. Trying to think what other young guys we come up against. I know Redden have a few young guys coming off the bench. I remember they when I came on at the end, they had a good fight against us. I think they had a quick nice little run. So there's a few young guys out there for sure.
Definitely, I think it's the future seems to be great for the NBL. But now let's turn back to the final. And obviously, with COVID, you guys won't get a proper preparation. You'll be warming up. And I probably don't want to say too much about Stout VF for watching, obviously, the team watching. But I'll start with Solent. What are some of the things that the coach has said to prepare you? Because Solent have been in finals before. Let's try a big one of, say, TBC. Has there been some messages that are sort of maybe not the elite, the tactics Taylor, but are sort of things that Coach Jack and the team have sort of said? Because it seems to have a lot of mentality as well as the actual technical side too.
I'd just say it's just, like I said, they're just playing with a lot of energy, just being ready to play 40 minutes. Like, it's a cup final. It's the first time we played them, so we haven't had a game against them in the league. So it's just going out there, just being ready for a long game, but it's gonna be a good game.
And same to you, Taylor. What sort of words come from in camp sort of get you guys ready? Maybe like G you up. What are some of those conversations that have been had?
Yeah, I think it's been a lot of the same of just improving on it and just addressing what we're doing. So just kind of focusing on continuing to build on ourselves, and still a lot of that. And there's obviously excitement about the opportunity and the challenge to play for some silverware and also get to go up against Solent for the first time this year.
Definitely, and I really do appreciate you guys coming on, especially like if you're testing before with training. You both had training this week. You got a big game this week, and I'll let you guys get going a bit so you can get an early night, get the proteins in before the journey tomorrow. Both you guys have a well-backed side. What sort of message would you like to give to the fans who can't be there tomorrow?
You go first.
Well, just tune in. Yeah, I mean, we would love to have you there, but I guess the next best thing is just to tune in, and hopefully we'll give you a show worthwhile. Yeah,
definitely great words by a great player. Kai, anything else you want to say to the Solent family at all before you guys log off for the evening and rest before tomorrow?
Gotta say exactly the same. Just tune in, just like stay in high spirits. We're gonna give a show. Hopefully like an amazing game. A lot of people have been waiting for it, so just tune in and be ready.
Definitely, and again, thank you both for coming on. And as I said, tune in, watch. It's an epic game Saturday 6 p.m. on Basketball England's YouTube channel. I believe Leicester actually got a fan wall. I think you got to logged into Zoom. Actually, be a good little experience. Maybe don't often get from watching NBL games, so get involved in that. And then this is the first of 3 head-to-heads until the playoffs potentially. So we've got 3 top games coming for the next 4 weeks, along with the rest of the NBL and BBL fixtures. Thank you for watching, tuning in. Stay safe. I'm back on actually in 2 weeks' time. Next Saturday when you guys have the match at TBC for the pre-game show. So that's going to be another good game as well. Again, thanks for coming on, guys, and have a lovely evening, okay?
Thanks, Chris.
Appreciate it.
Cheers. Stay safe,
Yeah.
everyone.